Alright guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead. So this is not clickbait. We actually are downsizing. This is not going to be something like we're cleaning out a drawer or something. This is for real, like our whole lifestyle, we're downsizing. Now I know some of you have been like, where are these videos coming from where you guys are fixing up the place or working on the house and stuff, or the apartment, and kind of what's going on. Now if you haven't seen already, you should refer back and look at our FIRE video, which is FIRE just stands for Financially Independent, Retire Early. It's kind of a movement we've been really looking at. It's kind of the next phase in what we're doing. For those of you that don't know, we live in the Hocking Hills of Ohio. We own 2 pieces of property here. One's less than an acre, one's 24 acres, and we have them completely paid off. We paid off our big piece of property here in June of 2020.
January of 2020.
January 2020, I'm sorry. And we just basically found that we were where we wanted to be, we thought. And then we realized that other than when we go deer hunting or just walk through our property, we don't use the back 23 acres. It just sits there, which is not a bad thing. But realistically, we have 3 small gardens, 2 of which are on our other piece of property, our lot next door here. And we just basically have more than enough just with that small amount of space. So generally speaking, we were okay with the setup until we found out from the tax man recently that we are about to undergo massive property tax hike. The valuation here, because it's a tourist area, has flown through the roof. So that was number 1 press point. Now currently on this piece of property, honey, we pay how much in taxes approximately?
Almost $1,700.
$1,700 a year. Okay, and how much do we pay basically in home insurance? Because your home insurance, as your house goes up, I don't care what they tell you, your cost of home insurance will go up. You know, they have to replace whatever would happen to your place. So currently we spend about how much a year on home insurance?
$600 a year.
And that's based upon the value of our home when we go get it. Okay, so essentially we're looking at about $2,500 if you're to round it a year. Now, I was just talking to the tax man, which nobody likes to talk to the tax man. But he was up here and we have some new construction on here we had to be added in. So he already said our taxes are going up. So we know they're going to be more than what we just said. But then he also said within the next year or 2, the valuations of these properties will double, especially for anybody who has land. So I did some research, and yes, 2 more years from now is when they hike our taxes again. They do it every 3 or 5 years. It's a cycle. So essentially doubling our taxes would put us at, between taxes, between insurance and everything, we're probably going to be stepping at $5 or $6 grand a year to keep our property. A year, guys. Now we don't make a lot of money. We're comfortable, but we don't have that kind of money to be throwing out. To really put this in perspective, if my math's right, that means that after that hike, not counting for it going up anymore, that within anywhere from 10 to 15 years, we would be able to pay off this property a second time just in what we pay in taxes. A second time. Now that said, it's not all terrible and sad, because literally that means our property has doubled in value.
Right.
From what we paid for it. So which means that we could probably go out and sell it for double right now, possibly more. And that's generally what we're thinking about doing. Now, the whole other side is, well, what are you going to do when you sell your property? You're just going to buy another one, you're going to be in the same situation. And no, we have another piece of property. Now, honey, what do we pay for taxes on that piece of property?
Like $35 a year.
That's right, $35 a year is what we pay for on the lot. Now, on the lot, as I said, we have 2 of our gardens, and we have a 20 by 14 carport. And we're going to convert that carport into
my tiny house,
a 2-story tiny house. So essentially we are going to sell this property and then move into the tiny house on the lot. So the design of this tiny house is going to be kind of awkward. We're kind of trying to figure out exactly how we want it all set up. But our projections are for 2022, probably March, April, May, to put this property on the market. So this opens up a whole world of things I've got to get done. That ain't right. No, it's not March of 2022, is it? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Wow. That's a real short time frame when you're about to hear this list, guys. So
you got 1 year essentially.
yep, I have to basically build the tiny home. Well, because my wife will get in and do anything with me. I got to build the tiny home.
Anything?
Pretty much anything. I've got to put an entire block foundation under this trailer and then get it inspected to make it part of the property as an actual house, which is kind of redundant because I just put all this underpinning and under wrap on with insulation and everything. So I get to tear all that out, put a foundation under the house. We got to gutter everything. All of the solar must come down. It will not pass inspection because it was not put up by an actual company. I put it up. Even though it's not actually attached to the house, it has to come down, which we'll be taking it with us anyways because I'm not giving up my solar. I have to move the garden and any plants we have to move that we want to keep, the berries, anything. I'm not going to mess with any of the trees. We're going to leave all the trees. The apartment needs finished because that will raise the value. Anything else on the top of your list you can think of?
Major downsizing.
Well, that's the whole next part of this video is the downsizing. Because I don't know if you guys know, but I work in the trades. So I've got tools coming out my ears. I've got materials I brought home to improve the property. We are going to have to downsize like there is no other. We have a 4-bedroom house here. And we have to downsize that to be able to fit into a 20 by 14 2-story house. And then I won't have a garage, but on the outside I'll have a 12 by 14 building, or overhang I should say, that all my stuff in my garage has to go into, tools and everything. So over the next year plus is going to be getting rid of this and that. And in fact, in March we're going to start a thing where we actually are going to be getting rid of something every day up to the end of March. It's kind of a trend that's been going on in the minimalism community, and we are just going to use it to provoke us to downsize. And we've already started it, just cleaning up around the property, things that are not going to be able to be got to, materials I was holding back because we were going to do things. All those things have started getting sold, trashed, download, burnt, whatever, gotten rid of. You know, if we can't get the project done, then I shouldn't have the stuff here for it. And we also are gathering things that were projects we were holding off that need to get done before the house can get sold, like getting set up to get gutters put on everything, because you need gutters and downspouts or it won't pass a home inspection. So we've got a lot to do, a lot going on, and the downsizing is probably the next major step towards moving forward, because I've actually got to get stuff out of my way so I can work. That's been one of our big issues at the moment. We've got stuff sitting outside that shouldn't be outside just because we don't have any place to put it. And I can't really bring much more home right now because we have no place to put it. So it's definitely the real. This is not clickbait. We are totally flipping our life upside down. Now, at the end of the day, you may ask, why are you doing this? Well, number one, we looked at this from the broad perspective, and if we don't downsize and do this, what we will get in Social Security, let's say, in reality, we will have to give up what both of us make in 3 months of Social Security just to pay the property taxes and the insurance here. I mean, that is, after you take out for Medicare and all the other stuff, what is left that me and her will make from Social Security, it would take 3 months worth just to pay the taxes and insurance on this property, on these properties. And that's obviously with inflation and everything in the future, but You know, with a system that we don't know is going to be in place later, it just is smart to think about your future and move forward as best you can. Now, when we sell this property, we will put all that in our investments. And then we will actually spend less money because we won't have to pay those taxes, the insurance, the upkeep of all this property by living on the lot. So we'll be saving monthly money too. And that will give us the opportunity to choose where and how we want to live in the future. So I know it's a lot of information to take in. We just wanted to kind of catch you guys up so you weren't like, why are they doing this? This doesn't make any sense. It's going to be a lot of jump around on this channel as I jump from project to project. Literally.
I have another one.
What's that?
You have to redo the bathroom.
Oh, I do.
You gotta put a new bathtub.
The bathtub's cracked. So at the very top, it really doesn't affect it for us using it, but you ain't gonna sell anybody a house with a cracked bathtub. So bathroom has to be redone. Let's just add it to the list. Thanks, honey.
Well, I wanted to give you a positive note.
But this gives us options and gives us control over our life, and we don't have to live behind the 8 ball of excessive taxes. We don't want to live our life that way. We want to have the freedom to do and go where we want, and we want the freedom to be able to enjoy our homestead or our property or wherever we live. And we're learning that the dreams of having all this property when you're younger is a beautiful idea if you're in a low cost of living environment. But the reality is, once the kids grow up and everybody's gone, I mean, I can grow an amazing amount of food
In a very small space.
A very small space. I mean, you give me an acre and I'll do some amazing things. And you know, we also want it to be kind of self-maintaining. I want to be able to go backpacking with our friends like we do on our other channel, Our World Outdoors. You know, you can go over and check out all of our adventures on that and see why we're doing this. We want to be able to have the best of both worlds. We want to be able to go out and travel and do things and have the weekend warrior lifestyle, but yet be able to come home, enjoy our homestead, garden, live with old school practices with the newest twists to make it easier, and just enjoy the rest of our life. We're in our mid-40s now. We've lost a lot of good people in the past couple years, and it's taught us to value every day. And this is our starting point of the next chapter to be able to value every day. So I know this kind of been a long kind of run out video. I do appreciate you guys watching. We do appreciate you guys being here with us on these journeys we go through. You probably will never find us stop pushing towards the future and doing better, but
That's what we do.
that's how we do, and we do it together, which is all I really need in this world, is this woman right here at my side, and I can accomplish anything. So with that said,
We will see you in the next one.
now go get to work.
I didn't hear any projects listed for me.